Hi, welcome to Eternal Beta. I'm Scott Rowe.
And I'm Nathan Anderson.
On today's episode, we're actually going to cover two Apple stories, believe it or not. But there are a couple of interesting things that we found, and just kind of wanted to discuss them a bit. The first one is Apple's actually prototyping wireless server hubs in a couple of their Genius bars. Now, what's interesting about it is, if any of you actually have iOS products and have ever had to go in for Genius bar support, and you've ever had to get a new device, like I had an iPhone 3G, and I had some issues with this little button on the side that kept falling off, and I would go in, and they would ultimately give me a new phone, which was wonderful, but the downside is you have to back up everything. At that point in time, I had to back up everything to my laptop, get the new phone, and restore from that laptop, make sure everything was good and set before I left the store. Well, that's all fine and dandy, except it took like an hour and a half each time I had to do it, and unfortunately I had to get 3 different phones. So it's just kind of a real pain in the butt. And other times I've been in the Apple Store, I've seen people come in with iPod problems and things like that, and they didn't have a backup of things. It just kind of made for kind of a chaotic mess. The interesting thing about this, the way they're testing this, is it's kind of like a version of iCloud, but at the local
in the store.
At the local store level. So what they can do is they can transfer all of your data directly to this local Wi-Fi connection, and then give you the new device, and then pull everything back down from there. Now iCloud is awesome, especially for your overnight backups and things like that. So if you install new applications, it automatically stores them up or remotes them up to iCloud overnight over Wi-Fi. But when you're looking at changing a device, the amount of bandwidth that's necessary for that and the time it takes is just pretty severe. But I think it's an interesting concept.
Yeah, the biggest problem about the cloud is when you have a lot of data, it takes a while to get it in or out. And so by bringing the cloud to the store, you're definitely solving the problem of time and less upset Apple customers. My cousin tried to get his phone replaced 3 times, but each time he went into the store, he'd forget to back it up. And so he ended up getting it finally done 2 days before his warranty expired. But I'm sure some people were not as lucky. So this aims to solve that problem very well.
So yeah, I'll be excited to see if they actually deploy it. Like I said, they're just testing it in some pilot stores in California. And they said something, if it does ultimately roll out, probably sometime mid-2013. But I think it's great for Apple customers to actually be able to go in and get a little bit better support for restoring some of those devices. So the second topic that we're going to talk about.
Yeah, so the bringing iCloud to the store will definitely make things easier for customers, but Apple needs to get rid of their old cloud that they don't want anymore, Mobile Me. Mobile Me, if you've never heard of it, that's okay. A lot of people didn't use it, but it's basically going away on June 30th. And there's a ton of customers who still are running not only the old cloud, but old versions of Mac OS, OS 10.5 Leopard to be exact. So Apple wants people to still be able to check their email. So they are moving, or basically giving people a free offer saying, here's Snow Leopard. And once you get Snow Leopard, then you can go into the App Store and upgrade to Lion, and then you can migrate your Mobile Me account to iCloud. So that's it's quite a big process for someone who doesn't even really know what an operating system is, and usually only upgrades when they get a new computer. So that kind of leads into an interesting observation that they're trying to push people to move over to Mobile Me right at about the same time that their new version of OS 10 Mountain Lion is supposed to be released. So these lagging users will potentially have to jump 3 versions, like in as many months. And I think it's an interesting problem that how people don't tend to think about an operating system as something they ever change.
Right. Yeah, very few people do. I mean, especially traditional Windows computers. A lot of people have them for 2 or 3 years and just replace them. I think what's kind of interesting to me, in a way, is that I think Apple's done a good job with their iOS products, especially the newest iPhones, in that the OSs can automatically be updated through the cloud.
Yes.
So you don't have to connect it to your computer and update it and all those. I mean, those releases are automatically made available as long as you have that device and they support it, depending on how old the device is.
Yep.
In theory, in a way, they're kind of trying to push towards that, I think, with OS 10.
OS 10, yes, definitely.
I mean, I still have Snow Leopard on my home computer. I haven't upgraded to Lion yet. Will I want to upgrade to Mountain Lion? Most likely I will, but I haven't done that. And part of it's just a hassle of it. If there aren't any major benefits that I really need outside of the App Store, that type of thing, I'm not really enticed to do it. So I think it's interesting, but I think the unfortunate part for those people that are still running Snow Leopard is that's a lot of hurdles for a consumer to go through. But I have to give Apple credit for at least helping them along and making that upgrade process a little bit easier, because it is kind of a pain in the butt. If you get 2 versions behind on an OS, you can't even upgrade to just Lion straight up, and then it's harder to find copies of Snow Leopard if you just have Leopard. Sometimes it can be kind of be a big pain. But you had also talked earlier.
I was gonna get to that. This is with Apple. All of this basically is a interesting, I think, transition into Apple trying to make an operating system upgrade not seem like a big deal by making it be a $29 offer and something that you can just update right through the App Store, download just like it's a copy of Angry Birds. It's like, I think we're moving to the positioning of it not being a big deal, and hopefully people will upgrade annually. And not only will people get the newest features, but it ends up being a nice constant revenue tick for Apple and keeping that ever-increasing share price ideally going higher.
Okay. So, do you think? I mean, I know Apple makes a tremendous amount of their money, obviously, off hardware sales.
Yes.
Unlike Microsoft, who makes it all off of the software licensing and things. So you think that's part of the reason that they just have a totally different mentality, towards
probably. I mean, the development? Software has always been such a small tick in their revenue, and every article I've read or insight is it's like, we make our software to push our hardware. And so it's just one of those value add things, and potentially positioning it in another way that is different from a Windows PC. It's like, my computer can upgrade itself. Does your Windows 7 do that? It's like, nope, sorry. Or at least that's what they'll say.
Right.
So,
at some point, right? We'll see Microsoft to compete somehow. Interesting.
Well, I mean, on that subject, we're going to see with Windows 8, the Microsoft App Store that will be bundled in. And, I mean, that's a whole interesting topic of its own. I mean, Microsoft's take on the touch interface with Metro that we first seen on Windows Phone and is now moving into Windows 8 as the primary pushed computing experience. But
they're still allowing users to default back to the traditional interface if they don't have that comfort level.
There are developer previews to get at that right now, but I suppose that's a whole nother barrel of apples.
We can cover that another day.
Yes.
That's cool. Well, thank you very much for watching, as usual. If you have any insights or opinions on any of the topics, or even thoughts on topics you'd like us to cover, go ahead and tweet us at Bozell.com, at Bozell.com, and we'll read through those and we'll get back to you. Thanks for watching.
Thank you.